is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. What can be said that hasn't already been said about one of, if not the biggest global superstar in music and entertainment right now? Beyonce is so big and her fan base is so wild and so huge that they will go out in the streets and they will fight on her behalf. And I mean that literally. They will literally fight you if you say something about Beyonce. All that being said, everything hasn't always been peaches and cream for Beyonce's career. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Beyonce's history in the fashion industry, as well as taking a look at her newest collection with Adidas and talking a little bit about how she got here and what this means for the future. Not just for the future of Beyonce, but also for the future of Adidas. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, we're going to start the story March 31st, 2016. That is when a little company called Ivy Park was officially launched by revealing Beyonce in two different outfits in Elle magazine. Now, what exactly is Ivy Park? Ivy Park is a company that is under her Parkwood Entertainment umbrella that's owned by Beyonce. And the name of the company obviously comes from Blue Ivy, her oldest child, and Park, which comes from Parkwood Park, which is in the Houston area where her and her father used to exercise a lot when she was growing up. It's a beautiful story. She wanted to pay homage to where she grew up, and she also wanted to give her daughter a legacy, something that her name was attached to that would be worth a lot of money in the future. Now, Ivy Park launches, and they're primarily an athletic and what they called back then an athleisure brand, but let's be honest, there really wasn't a lot of athleisure going on. Yeah, Beyonce came out with some designs that were some anorak coats and things of that nature, but primarily Ivy Park was always strictly an exercise and athletics brand. Now, breaking into a space that is dominated by companies like Nike, Adidas, Reebok, even Under Armour in some instances is no easy feat, even if you're Beyonce. Not only that, but what we had also seen proven in the past is that Beyonce didn't always have the best history with establishing fashion brands anyway. House of Darion, for instance. House of Darion was her short-lived denim line that was primarily jeans, some dresses, some other tops, some other fashionable items. A lot of those items were designed by her mother, Tina, but unfortunately, the brand really fell flat and just completely ended up dissolving back in the 2000s. Darion unfortunately got lost in the apple-bottom jeans and the baby fats of the world out there that were just way more popular and that women felt like contoured and complemented their curves a lot better. Darion just didn't work out that well. But Ivy Park was a little bit different. It was clothing that a lot of women were into. It was a huge space, more so than the denim and the jean world. And it was something that Beyonce held near and dear to her heart because she was really big on her fitness. I'm not gonna lie, Ivy Park was really dope when it dropped. When it first came out, I remember seeing Ivy Park, I think in a Nordstrom's. And I remember thinking to myself, that's actually a nice looking line. I like the logo, I like the branding, and I like the designs. But the thing about it was, it really wasn't selling out that well. I think it was selling pretty decently, but it wasn't selling out all that well. Certainly not like what we're gonna talk about a little bit later. Now let's fast forward the story a little bit. It's 2018 and Topshop is in trouble. The reason is because Philip Green, who's the CEO of Arcadia Group, which owns Topshop, comes under fire for multiple allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment in the workplace. Not only that, but the company was also reeling from a lawsuit from Rihanna from a few years prior where they had used images of her without her permission. So now Philip Green is in trouble. People are now boycotting all the stores that the Arcadia Group owns, up to and including Topshop and Topman. Not only that, but they're also calling specifically on Beyonce and her Be Good nonprofit organization to shut down their line and to pull their line out of Topshop. So what do you do if you're Beyonce? You're one of the biggest stars in the world and you ooze women's empowerment. If you see that something like this is going on, how can you possibly continue to do business with them? Personally, I think that they looked at it as an opportunity to go ahead and leave out of the company for a cheap price because they knew that the company was going down fast and it wouldn't cost them a whole lot of money to back out. And that's exactly what they did. They went and they cut a big check to Topshop and the Arcadia Group or whoever owned it at the time, and Beyonce then became 100% owner of Ivy Park. However, now that Beyonce had Ivy Park back completely under her control, she was now a free agent to work with whatever brand she wanted to work with. And like a knight in shining armor, here comes Adidas. Beyonce officially announces the relaunch of the Ivy Park brand in collaboration and partnership with Adidas. Now, this is an unprecedented deal for a couple of reasons. Number one, as Beyonce being one of the only, if not the only minority 100% owner of her athleisure company, she's in line to make a ton of money off of this deal. Number two, this deal was a partnership. They don't own any piece of Ivy Park. Adidas still does not own any piece of Ivy Park. So part of Beyonce's deal was that she got to keep 100% ownership of her company, and they work off of royalties. I'll break the royalties down after we take a look at a couple of the pieces from the collection. But let's start with the packaging here. Now the packaging is actually pretty much the same of all of the footwear from the collection. Today we're taking a look primarily at the footwear, and all the footwear came in this white box. On one side of the box here, you can see it's got the classic trefoil Adidas logo. On the other side of the box, you can see Ivy Park completely embossed across the side. And on the top of the box, you see the embossed 3 stripes. I actually found the opening of the box a little interesting because it's in this hexagon shape. Now, if you guys remember hexagons, that is somewhat like honeycombs, and honeycomb shapes are hexagons. Honeycombs, bees, queen bee, get it? Drawer style box. You guys know I love a good drawer style box, but let's take a look at the shoe. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Adidas and Ivy Park Night Jogger in maroon and orange. First impressions of this one, I'm not a big fan of it, but here's why. I'm just not a fan of night joggers as a whole. So if you're a fan of night joggers, if you're a fan of this actual silhouette from Adidas, you may very well like this sneaker. But the only thing that I really like about night joggers is that they have boost in them, and I'm a fan of boost. But the shape, I'm not really feeling it. The whole shoe as a whole, I'm not really feeling it. But let's take a little deeper look. We've taken a look at a night jogger very recently with the Ninja night jogger, the E-Gamer. So we're not gonna take too much time with the shoe as a whole. But as you can see, again, this is a half and half orange and maroon colored silhouette. Same materials as all of your regular night joggers, same stitching, same inlays, everything is pretty much the same. What's not the same, first of all, are the laces with these hits of 3M that actually have a little lace lock here, a little pump here that you can actually use to tighten the laces, but you actually cannot tie the laces themselves because the lace tips seem to be encased in this black electric tape. I don't know what this is. On the tongue here, you have a really nice orange thin foam tongue here. It's got the Adidas trefoil logo on the right shoe. Has the Ivy Park branding on the left shoe on the tongue. On the back of the shoe, you also get the Adidas trefoil logo branding. Now that's on both shoes. It doesn't say Ivy Park on one and Adidas on the other. Also on the back of the shoe here, you'll notice that you actually have this maroon kind of paracord material here. It's not laces though, but it does start in the lacing system in the eyelets here, and it weaves throughout the entire length of the shoe. Now the description on the Adidas app says that this is used to clip these to your bag, which I believe they've illustrated on this big Ivy Park tag on the back of the shoe here. Now, a lot of people have wondered what in the world this tag is here for. If you want my opinion, this is the Virgil Abloh off-white zip tie. You don't really need to keep this on the shoe. Matter of fact, I would not suggest that you keep this on the shoe, but it's made with this clip here so you can take it off and use it as a decoration, but to also illustrate what you're supposed to be doing with the shoes, which is clipping them to the back of your gym bag like that. I do like the insoles of the night joggers the best out of any of the other shoes in the collection, mainly because they're inverted. So on the left shoe here, you have this orange background with this black Ivy Park and Adidas co-branding here. And on the right insole, you have a maroon background with that orange Ivy Park and Adidas co-branding on the heel. And that's pretty much it for the night jogger. But now let's take a look at my personal favorite from the Ivy Park collection, the Ultra Boost. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Adidas and Ivy Park Ultra Boost. The fact that Adidas gave Beyonce an Ultra Boost 1.0 to make her first sneaker with them is incredible. That's like somebody getting their first sneaker as the Jordan 1 Retro High. It doesn't happen that often. This is a staple at Adidas, and they don't let anybody touch this. But then again, Queen Bee. All right, starting with the upper of the sneaker here, again, you got the classic Ultra Boost 1.0 knit pattern here. So it's a beautiful knit here, beautiful maroon color. You can't go wrong with that. Pretty much the same lacing system on these. It still ties up the same, still has this weird black tape that ties up the ends of the shoelaces here. The tongues on the Ultra Boost though are not co-branded. They both just have the Adidas 3 stripes logo on them. However, since you don't get the co-branding on the tongue, you do get the co-branding on the lateral side on the heel cup here. It says Ivy Park in real bold letters instead of where you would normally see Ultra Boost. And that is big because you don't really see Ultra Boost taking their name off of the shoe and replacing it with whoever they're collaborating with. You have that same kind of clip on the back of the shoe here. Along with that, you have this really bright orange tag, same way that you saw the tag was clipped onto the night joggers, exact same purpose. You have this really nice classic maroon colored Boost midsole, and of course the staple, the Continental rubber torsion system outsole on this sneaker. Beautiful orange color to offset that maroon. room. Now, the thing that I thought was really fly about all the sneakers in the collection was that there was something designated towards everybody's workout routine. You had the Ultra Boost for your runners, you had your night joggers for people that wanted to maybe cross-train, do different types of workouts in the gym, and then you also had your Super Sleek 72, which I was not able to get a pair of those. Those have the real flat bottom for people that want to do strength training and weightlifting. Now, here's the thing about the collection. The Super Sleek 72 was probably the shoe that people are going to wear the most casually. They're not going to be doing the most exercising in it like they will in the night jogger and the Ultra Boost, but that's also why I think the shoe was worth the most money. It's funny because the shoe was actually the cheapest when it came out, but now the Super Sleek has been reselling for upwards of $300 to $350 on the market. But again, I think that's because that's the shoe that the most people want to wear casually. And that's where I think the difference is with setting a new precedent with this Adidas and Ivy Park deal. Ivy Park primarily was mainly focused on exercise only, fitness only. Adidas is really relying heavily on the leisure part of the athleisure market. As you know, a lot of people want to wear workout clothes to look good and to feel good, but they're not really working out. They're not really going to the gym like that to do really heavy workouts. So what they're wearing, they really want to have something that they can throw on to go look nice in, to go put some pictures on Instagram in, to go to an event in, but something that they also feel cute in. And I think that the Adidas collection really nailed it in doing a lot of really athleisure type of clothing. The t-shirts, the sweatshirts, the bodysuits, the coats, things of that nature. Everything was extravagant. It was really, really nice. And it was a really unique design. I really liked it. Now, of course, you had some fashion staples in there like leggings and bras, some cycling shorts, things of that nature. But honestly, let's be real. A lot of people are going to throw on that t-shirt with a pair of Ultra Boost or night joggers and they're going to go on about their business. One other thing that Beyonce mentioned in an interview recently when she was talking about the relaunch of this brand was how many men had actually gravitated towards Ivy Park and adopted it as their own, even though Ivy Park was really focused on women back in the day. Adidas paid very close attention to the fact that men wanted to be included in Beyonce and in Ivy Park as well. And that's why they came out with a unisex collection. Everything in this collection is completely unisex. The men's sizing of the shoes is not women's sizing, it's men's sizing. So if you were looking for a pair of Ultra Boosts, you've got to get to your Yeezy sizing, not necessarily your women's shoe sizing. The campaign was completely revamped. When they came out with the new Adidas campaign, there were a ton of men in the campaign wearing a lot of the clothing and the shoes from the collection as well. Genius move from the marketing team over at Adidas because it opened up a huge revenue stream of men that wanted to be a part of this conversation and a part of this clothing. Now, I said that we would talk a little bit about what the deal looked like. Here's another reason why this is super unprecedented for Beyonce. I believe that Beyonce set up a deal very similar to what Kanye West has right now with Adidas. Let me break it down. Ivy Park is a company that Beyonce owns, which means that every time Adidas does an order for shoes or clothing through Ivy Park, they make money on that. Beyonce, as 100% owner, sees all of that revenue. Not only that, but I also believe that Beyonce negotiated some kind of a really nice royalty on the back end in perpetuity for her collection as well. Kanye West has something very similar as being the sole owner of the Yeezy brand. So let's take a look at what this looks like. Adidas does an order for $10 million worth of Ivy Park product. Ivy Park, the company, now has revenue of $10 million. Beyonce sees money from that. Then the collection sells out, and let's just say on that $10 million order that Adidas does, they make $40 million in sales off of the product. If Beyonce has a 10% royalty, she just saw $4 million in back-end money on top of the $10 million in the money that she got from the initial purchase from Adidas. Now that is how you get your coins on the front end and the back end. And thanks to a marketing machine and a really dope seeding marketing campaign that they did, sending all of those huge collections to all of those big celebrities, and then also sending boxes to micro influencers as well. If you guys don't know what micro influencers are, those are people that don't have millions and millions of followers, but they're still very popular in their own right. Beyonce sent different size boxes depending on how big of a star or a celebrity the person was that was getting gifted the collection. But everybody got a little something. You have the Reese Witherspoons and the Sierras and people like that. They got the big, huge collection of the clothing with the big, wide closet that opened up completely with drawers in it that had pretty much every single piece of the entire collection in there. One of my favorite people that actually got gifted the collection was Ricky Thompson. If you don't know who Ricky Thompson is, he's an African-American comedian that really got popping on Vine, but then carried over his success into YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, Ricky Thompson is a proud member of the LGBT community and as such is a firm voice and an advocate for the community, which a lot of Beyonce's fan base is also comprised of. As such, it only made sense to gift him the hugest collection because he has such a huge reach and such an amazing platform and voice. But like I said, there were also people that got gifted smaller boxes and smaller collections that were popular in their own right. That did nothing but build more and more and more hype, so that by the time this dropped on Adidas, it sold out instantly. Beyonce and her team actually called it the e-commerce takeover, in which they actually sold product on Foot Locker, East Bay, Adidas, everywhere that you could possibly imagine, either shoes, clothing, or both. And it sold out everywhere. Everybody ate it up. The marketing worked, the collection worked, and now the relaunch and the revamp of the Ivy Park brand and company is huge. The marketing team at Adidas deserves a raise because it worked. Everything sold out instantly on every website you could possibly imagine. These shoes flew. Like I mentioned, the super sleek 72s are now going for triple or more than triple retail price on all secondary markets right now. It's insane. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. Beyonce is a powerhouse of a brand and a powerhouse of a woman, and now she has a powerhouse of a brand in Adidas that is driving the machine for Ivy Park and her brand while she maintains complete ownership of that brand. I'll definitely be keeping a close eye on what's going on with the company now and in the future, but it looks like Ivy Park is back with a bang. All right, guys, that's all I got for this collection today. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments and let me know what you guys think of the Ivy Park and Adidas collaboration with Beyonce. Did you grab anything from the collection? Did you grab shoes? Did you grab clothing? Did you grab a belt? Did you grab the socks? What did you cop? If there was something that you missed out on, let me know what you missed out on. Maybe somebody in the comments has something that you need and can help you out. Not only that, but why do you think the Ivy Park brand came back with such a huge bang? Do you think it's marketing? Do you think the fact that it's Adidas? Or do you think that it's something else that maybe we didn't mention in the video today? Sound off down below. Let me know you guys talk. Let's dialogue a little bit about it. I really would like to hear your thoughts about this one. Of course, while you guys are down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat like these, because I guarantee you I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Adidas and Ivy Park Ultra Boost. This is the Adidas and Ivy Park Night Jogger. And until next time, I'm out.